Am I the a-hole for getting mad at my sister for telling my girlfriend about our family's wealth? My family's low-key wealthy, but my parents have made sure that we are never flashy about it. We live in the same place we've lived for about 15 years, don't have flashy clothes and cars, and generally make sure we're spending money on experiences rather than objects. Cue my younger sister, who is totally spoiled, and for some reason feels extremely entitled to her share of the wealth. She just turned 21, and I think part of it is her finally getting information about her trust and in general how we stand. I'm 25 and the older one, so I sorta know about all this for a while now. Anyway, long story short, my sister ended up going car shopping with my girlfriend for expensive new cars, Porsches. My dad had not approved anything, so I don't know what she's going to do. But apparently she flashed my dad's credit card and talked to the salesman about how much money she has to spend. My girlfriend was shocked that me driving a simple and assuming 10-year-old Lexus will have a sister throwing $100,000 at a car. We had a huge discussion and ended up fighting about it. She was shocked at roughly how much money we had and told me I was a tad selfish for not mentioning it when she had college and medical debt. Honestly, we've only been dating for 2 years, and I was thinking after about a year I would propose if things are going well and start this discussion. It's all happened a little too soon. I'm really mad at my sister and kinda laid it out on her. Told her how immature and selfish she was, and how she's undoing everything our parents worked hard for to install values in us. She told me I had to grow up and that I'm a wet blanket. Am I the a-hole here? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. The biggest a-hole here is your girlfriend for assuming that because you come from a wealthy family you're obligated to pay off her debt. Is this really the kind of person you want to have a relationship with? Yeah, that kinda caught me off guard. Could be a red flag, but coming from another thought place, maybe she just got caught off guard. If y'all have talked about her struggling with money, maybe feels that conversations you've had were insincere in some way due to you being extremely wealthy and not able to really relate to her problems. Your parents' money has nothing and will never have anything to do with her college and medical debt. That was a strange thing for her to say. I don't get why people would be mad at not being told about wealth. Are they equally as mad about not being told of a family debt? I'm blown away that she thinks she's entitled to it. I was thinking the same. It's telling that the fact that her knowing that you have access to money equals her debts being paid. The only reason you should disclose an aspect of your finances with anyone is if they are contributing to them, for business purposes or because you are combining household finances. Why would you need to know how much money you have? Sorry, she wants you to pay off her debt? Just because your family's wealthy? The audacity and entitlement she has. Not they all OP. Yours and your family finances are really none of her business unless y'all get married. Yeah, but I guess if my parents are okay, they're not. With my sister spending $100,000 on a car, her $20,000 medical debt seems quite small. But your girlfriend is not your parents' kid nor their responsibility. Yeah, it sucks for your girlfriend and your sister sounds spoiled, but your girlfriend isn't their family and are under no obligation to take care of her. I would be mortified and would rather die than to throw a fit over my wealthy boyfriend not paying my debt. Especially if it's only been 2 years and you all aren't even engaged. And like you said, your parents aren't okay with your sister buying that expensive a car. Why would they be okay dropping thousands on someone not their priority? Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I'm not surprised she doesn't have a friend? Plus a little update. So I recently moved to my home country for college, and recently found out my 10-year-old sister did something that I'm pretty upset about. So my family had a party for me before I left, and near the end I noticed that my Nintendo Switch and its games were gone. I found it in my sister's room and packed it and went to sleep to get ready to go to the airport. The flight and everything else went fine, and while I was unpacking my stuff, I noticed I couldn't find my Nintendo Switch or any of its games. I was really confused, as I distinctly remembered putting it in my suitcase. I called my mom and she explained that my sister had taken the games and my Switch in the middle of the night and hid it so she could have it. My mom didn't know until it was too late, and just grounded my sister from candy for a week. I am fuming. The Switch was given to me by a friend, and all the games were either gifts or I paid for them. And now my mom thinks it's completely okay to let my sister take something that is mine. When I told her this, she said I was being melodramatic and territorial, and to let my sister have it. The next week, my sister called me and was being a snot-face about the whole thing, saying stuff like, "How does it feel to know you have to ask me to play games now?" I told her that she is an entitled brat and told her, "I'm not surprised you still don't have a friend." My sister was shocked and hung up the phone. She has been having trouble making friends for a while now and told me I'm a jerk. I'll admit, I went too far, but I don't disagree with calling her out and doing that. My sister has never done anything like this, and my siblings and parents are telling me I'm an a-hole and telling me to apologize and let her keep it. I'm conflicted and need to know if I'm in the wrong because I feel bad and need to know if I'm the entitled brat. So, am I the a-hole? Edit. My entire family isn't letting me talk to her until I say it belongs to her. Wait. Your sister effectively steals your Switch, phones you to brag about said theft, and somehow your mother thinks you're the a-hole for snapping back? Yeah, no, that's not how it works. No wonder your sister is struggling to make friends. Hard not the a-hole. Yeah, that's what I'm also thinking. Opie's sister stole from Opie and mom was like, I didn't give her any candy. She's just a kid. Leave it. What the heck is wrong with her? Correct their mistake. Opie's sister doesn't have any remorse about her actions. I also agree with not the a-hole. Opie's mom is going to look like shocked Pikachu when she never comes home from school again. Not the a-hole. Set up a conference call including your mother and a friend who gave you the Switch, and ask your mother to explain to your friend why she's letting your sister keep the gift that the friend gave you, rather than packing it up and mailing it to you. After all, you will have to explain why you don't have it when they talk to you and ask if you are enjoying their gift. Right now, the easy thing for your mother is to let your sister keep it, rather than dealing with the trouble of mailing it, or your sister's complaints when it is gone since she is there to complain in person. The embarrassment of the accountability to the person who spent the money for this may be motivating. That is a great idea. Let me try to set this up. Does your friend live near your parents? Is it possible for you to ask them to pick it up and pay them to mail it to you? I would do this if I hated my friend. My entire family would go ape on him and send him hateful messages, and he has no way of coming in without being caught. Edit. Thank you all for the support. I now realize I've been manipulated, gaslighted, and emotionally mistreated by my entire family for years. I'll make an update post on what happens. And yes, I am involving the police. I can't tell you all how grateful I am to finally grow a spine and stop making excuses for their toxic BS. Thank you all. Update. Well, the basic rundown is that my sister apologized after Joy, my cousin, told her what she did was wrong, and forgave me and gave my stuff to Joy to mail back. I reported theft to the police, and my entire family has been calling me and Joy homophobic slurs and screaming at us through calls. So is no contact for both of us. I'll try to keep you all updated on what happens next. Next story. Am I the a-hole for letting my mom find out about my pregnancy through Facebook? My mom has always been a difficult person. In the past, we have had a lot of struggles with her control issues and need to be the center of attention. 2 years ago, my sister was pregnant with a baby girl that she wanted for a long time. Due to a previous miscarriage, she told the immediate family but wanted to wait to make a public announcement for another month to be safe. My mom decided that she needed to tell everyone, and when my sister said that she'd rather wait, my mom posted the announcement on Facebook anyways. My sister had no idea until the congratulations text started coming in. She was devastated. I didn't speak to my mother for a long time. My mom never apologized or admit she did anything wrong and said it was her news to share too since she was becoming a grandma. Flash forward to now and I'm expecting. We wanted to wait until we were in a better place medically before making an announcement. Fortunately, we were able to keep it to ourselves for a while. When we started telling the family, we called everyone individually to tell them the news and to keep it private since we were making a public announcement later. I know this may have been petty, but I didn't call my mom. Every time I think about what happened with my sister, it still fills me with rage, and I had no desire to give her the satisfaction of taking away that experience again. So we made a public announcement without telling her beforehand. Naturally, she called us screaming when she found out, telling my husband and I how selfish we were and how we didn't care about family since she found out through Facebook. This didn't come as a huge shock. However, I keep getting calls and texts from extended family saying that I need to apologize, and I'm punishing my mom for being excited about her grandchildren. I refuse to apologize, and I feel justified because of her past behavior. The rest of the family is saying I should apologize and smooth it over with her. Am I being petty? Am I the a-hole? Added to add, this is not the first time she's ruined someone's news. When my brother told the family he eloped, she told him that he made a family look classless. I'd ask him what her friends were supposed to think. I truly don't think there's any way that she would have been happy if she didn't get to share the news in her own way first. Now for the comments. Not a-hole. You taught your mother a lesson she should have learned a long time ago. Actions have consequences. And if she keeps giving you a hard time, tell her the same thing will happen when the baby is born. She will get the news on Facebook. Or give her the non-apology. I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to ruin my announcement like you did with sister. I'm proud of Opie for learning this lesson. My mom shared news of my pregnancy to her church group before I had even told any of my friends, because it didn't count since they were praying for me. Then stupid me, I texted all the grandparents to announce the birth and waited 10 minutes to be sure they had all seen it before telling anyone else. But I didn't swear them to absolute secrecy. So my mom texted all my siblings before I had a chance to do it myself. I was so mad, but Grandma was just excited. So OP, congrats on being smarter than me. Keep up the good work when baby is born. Who cares if she's pissed off? Not a-hole. Yes, you were being petty, but in my opinion, totally justified here. She doesn't respect your or your sister's boundaries and requests. Why respect hers? Not a-hole. Your mom has demonstrated she's not a safe person to share information with until you're good and ready to share it publicly. If she's upset about that, she needs to reflect on what she's done to damage your trust and what she can do in future to make amends. Not make it about her and her hurt feelings and what she thinks she's entitled to. Make note of the family members who are taking her side, or have at least decided it's easier not to upset her than to respect your wishes, and make sure they don't get any private baby photos or updates either. I think Grandma's demonstrated she isn't a safe person, period. She found out her daughter was pregnant, and her first reaction was rage that she didn't get to share this news. It tells me her first reaction is always going to be think of herself and her desires, not of you or your child. Continuing to have her in your life is going to be a constant battle to get her to respect even the most basic of boundaries. This type loves the battle because it keeps your attention focused on them, and your life circulates around them and their drama. Only you can decide if constant battle is worth what she brings to your life and will bring to your child. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for making my wife think our son was missing? My wife has a horrible habit that I discovered 2 months ago. We were ordering lunch on the Subway app, and I told her to pick the location that has a drive-thru. That way we don't have to go inside and take the baby out of the car just to clip him back in a few minutes later. She told me it's not a big deal to leave the baby in the car to run in and pick it up really fast. I had no idea she ever did this. I told her I was not comfortable with her leaving him in the car alone even for a minute, and she told me she's been doing it since he was born and has always been fine. She told me she does it to pick up food, run into the post office or pharmacy, etc. I was floored. We don't live in a horrible area, but it's also not super safe either. I told her to not ever do this again. She told me she never stopped to think about the potential dangers and that she would stop doing it. Well, yesterday as I was driving home from my brother's house, I spotted her car at the gas station near our place. It was parked in a spot up front and not a pump, so I figured she stopped in to grab some snacks, which we like to do. I decided to stop and go in, and say hi and get some food, and I pulled in and parked next to her. However, when I got there, I was furious to find our son in his car seat. The car wasn't even locked. I don't know what came over me, but in that moment, I decided to take my son and put him into my car. He's got a car seat in there too. I then drove to the other side of the gas station parking lot and waited for my wife to come out. It took 6 minutes for her to appear. When she saw that he was gone, she looked stunned for a second, and then started to frantically look around and cry. I didn't let it go on long. After this, I saw her pull her phone out, presumably to call 911, and that's when I pulled my car around to her. I parked, got out and walked around to my son's door and opened it to show him to her. She looked extremely relieved, but that quickly turned to anger with her asking me why I took him and did that to her. I told her she needed to learn her lesson, and that she promised to stop leaving him in the car, and that she was extremely irresponsible. It was so easy for me to pull up and take him. No one else at the gas station even noticed. So if he really was taken, there would have been no help, and it would have been 100% her fault. She proceeded to call me cruel and psychotic and tried taking our son out of my car into hers. I said no and that I would be driving him home, and I left. She came home not much later but ignored me the rest of the day. She acknowledged me today, saying she wanted an apology, but I said absolutely not, and she's the one who should be saying sorry. She's been guilt-tripping me the rest of the day, saying no mother should experience the fear I put her through. Did I go too far? Am I the a-hole? Normally I'm fully against game playing, but this is your child's life. I support your actions. Your wife is being hugely neglectful. Not to mention it'll be warm soon and being left in a hot car even for a few minutes can be deadly. Not the a-hole, and I wouldn't let her take him anywhere until she apologizes. I guess I should clarify that the car was running with the air on. I forgot to add that detail and was restricted by the character limit, but the car was on. It's a push to start car with a sensor for the key fob, so it'll stay on/running as long as you are close enough to the vehicle. I didn't see the keys in the car, so she took them inside with her, but didn't lock it. Well, that just brings up different safety issues. Seriously, your wife is 100% wrong. I'm a mom and my kid is 18. I still remember when I fell asleep driving with him on the Los Angeles freeway for half a second when he was an infant, and I was an exhausted new parent, and I shudder and cringe every time. Nothing happened, and I still wish I could take it back. Your wife must stop doing this. This is so unsafe. Even if nothing happens, all it takes is one concerned citizen to call the police about a baby left in the car to get CPS knocking at your door. And that's a mess you really don't want to deal with.